give you an explanation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
One paper down. You guys, I just recycled. I'm just gonna recycle it. I have it digitally. I'm just gonna recycle it.
Sir?
I just dumped 15 pounds of paper today.
I'm all about digital.
Thank you, sir. James, you're going to send us the PowerPoint, right?
These are missing the cost that the Ford.
Don, if we could have the camera, please.
Councilman, Trace, would you like a coffee?
Oh, no, thank you. I'll be up all night. I like it, but, all right. Yeah, only.
One of these extra papers go over here.
Actually listening to it, when I reach tonight, I'll know what story I want to cover.
Thank you.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
I gotta do that.
Whenever we're ready here. All right, we'll call the meeting to order at 7:30. It's the July 5th meeting of the City Council of Lincoln Park. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, which will be immediately followed by the invocation by Reverend Paula Miller of St. Michael's and All Angels Episcopal Church. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Holy and eternal God, we ask you to be with this gathering tonight. Fill us with your enlightenment as we consider all the ways to better the lives of our residents. Let the care for our common property, buildings, and grounds show our hospitality for one another. Let the people who are planning to enjoy summer block parties become good neighbors, ready to lend a hand in support of one another. Let our concern extend to the health and safety of our neighbors in our plans for upgrade of sewer lines and sidewalks. Keep us ever mindful of the poor, those in need, and especially our children in all we say and do. And we ask you, Lord, to have mercy on the soul of Stan Ozium, beloved retired member of our police force who recently died, and all those cherished servants of our city whose names are known to you. For we make this prayer knowing you, O God, walk with us. Amen.
Amen.
Comment? Thank you, Reverend. We could have roll call, please.
Certainly. Councilpersons Dupre?
Here.
Higgins?
Here.
Kelsey is absent. Ross?
Here.
Salcido?
Here.
Tobin is absent. Mayor Carnes?
Here. Okay, welcome. And again, thank you, Reverend, for being here and for the invocation. And then mentioning Stan Ozium. Stan was a detective when I came on a long time ago. He had an interesting sense of humor. But he was a good man and did a lot for the department. So he would miss. Our thoughts and prayers will go to his family. Stan had a brother on the department too, Frank Ozium. All right. And the Reverend mentioned block parties. We have the 3 block parties that are part of the action items. And in a conversation we had, it's nice to see the people getting together in their neighborhoods to form those blocks, and the tie-in with that to Neighborhood Watch and what what Sergeant Jeff Mueller through community policing is still in charge of. So what I'd like to see from the people that are doing the block parties here, that those groups, they can get together and get together not only for this party, but throughout the year, and that way to keep an eye on their neighborhood, make sure things are going right. Because crime doesn't happen in a vacuum, and it's when the neighbors get together and keep an eye on and watch out for the others that they can put a big damper on that. So not only in these areas where there's a block party going to be, but in all blocks. And if you're all out there, and matter of fact, I would challenge the council people to take action in their neighborhood and start revitalize that in where they live. And go through, so we could be a good example for the rest of the citizens that are out there. Second, we have a big day for our cameraman, Don Belinsky, and his other life is a teacher at the Riverview High School, and he has put 25 years in and has retired effective on Friday. So congratulations, Don. Although we're hoping you stick around here for just a little while longer. But thank you for that. On the 29th, over at the community center, there was an open forum that was held that was, I'd say, fairly well attended. I know that there was 5 council people there. 4 council people and the mayor was there. It has to do with 3075 Dix, and that is the trailer park, and Mr. Myers, our building official, was there and putting it on, and was looking for input and complaints and things that from the residents of the park itself and of the surrounding areas. And in his attempt to get help from the state through Laura to do different programs that allow for him to do health and safety checks at these different places, because the condition of some of the trailers are listed from what people were saying as deplorable, and there is complaints of vermin and other things like that. So the meeting went an hour. And I think that the end result is that the people that live at that park is looking to have their support in a letter going to the state. And I think that he's going to plan on having more in the future. But so that's that. Then over at the KMB, there was have not been able to attend any of the concerts up until this previous one, which was the Santana Project. Nice night, a little warm. Had to be hot for those people that are up on the stage, though. But as far as the people in the audience, ended up being a very nice event. The music was fantastic. Council president was walking around soliciting money from everybody as part of a donation to the Black Box. If you go to those, the most money that is raised on the night of certain entertainers are on there. You know, the top prize or the top earner will then gets to kick off the concert series in the next year. So that ended up being a very nice event, and then thanks to Maureen for putting all that together for us. And with that, I think we'll move on to the consent agenda. Oh, and just hope everybody had a nice 4th of July. It just seemed like it was a little bit longer, which was nice. Had the celebration spread out over the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It was nice. So resolved that the following items listed on the consent agenda be approved as presented to the mayor and city council. The 1, approved minutes, regular meeting held June 20, 2022. 2, approved minutes, special meeting, closed session held June 20, 2022. 3, approved minutes, study session, corridor studies held June 20, 2022. 4, award bid 2022 SRF CCTV program. 5, award bid 2022 SRF sewer lining program. 6, solicit bids sanitary sewer replacement North Shore Drive. 7, participation residential rehab loan program. 8, attend training police department. A has been removed, so it would be, A would be Leadership Challenge School, B would be FBI NAA Training Conference, C would be Executive Development Seminar, and 9, solicit bids, electrical panels.
I'll move.
Support.
Is there no discussion? Or is there discussion? Okay, clerk call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Salcido?
Here.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes.
Yes, Red, I'm sorry.
For you. First action item is whereas a vacancy in the liaison position for the Department of Public Services has occurred, be it resolved that Councilman Michael Higgins be and is hereby appointed as council liaison to the Department of Public Services.
I'll move. Support.
Discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Resolved that special event permit number 9 be approved for the Exchange Club Lincoln Park Days to be held in the city of Lincoln Park, August 26th to 28th, 2022 at Youth Center Park under the following conditions. DPS will set up and clean up during the regular working hours as long as Exchange Club has volunteers to clean the area, trash, and debris during the event. If overtime becomes necessary, the Exchange Club will be charged based on time and material.
I'll move. Support.
Okay, discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Next item has a cover letter from Ashka McKincheck, City Management Coordinator. United Lawnscape was recently awarded the contract to provide grounds maintenance services to city-owned properties. Since United Lawnscape started providing services for city, we have noticed that there is a handful of properties that were not being maintained. The current contract bid was mirrored from the grounds maintenance bid in 2017. After investigation, it appears that most of the properties that are currently being missed were not included in the bid contract from 2017, and so they were not copied to the 2022 bid. In addition to a handful of properties not being maintained, it was discovered that 25th District Court has a private contractor that maintains the grounds of their building, therefore services provided by United Lawnscapes are not needed there. Budget impact, we had 13 properties of contract. Projected cost for the ground maintenance services for these 13 additional properties is approximately $13,741. However, there would be a cost savings of approximately $1,967 a year to remove the courthouse from the current contract. Therefore, it would only be an $11,774 impact on the budget. Apparently, the properties at city-owned residential lots of 1378 Hanford, 2121 Olive, 1520 Pagel, 1911 Paris, 1923 Richmond, 1086 White, parking lot east of 1314 Garfield, lot at the corner of Brest and Coolidge, lot at the southeast corner of London and Chandler, lot between 1453 and 1419 Grant, lot west of 1314 Paris, lot between 1414 and 1402 Russell, lot at Merrill London Electric. City-owned residential lots, we have those same ones? All right.
Different service.
Be it resolved that the mayor and city council hereby approve the ground maintenance contract amendment number 1 to include 13 additional properties and remove the 25th District Court. Be it further resolved, the mayor and city clerk are authorized to execute that approved contract amendment.
So move. Support. Through the chair.
Go ahead.
Who's been taking care of these lots?
Well, so that is
why we found out about them. Well, I think what has happened in the past, U.S. Lawns has been doing the work for us for a very long time. And I'm sure over the course of years, as lots have come on, we've said, hey, can you take care of this one? Can you take care of that one? And it just got rolled into the program without ever being officially part of a contract or
Right.
having it documented. So when we went to do the new bid, had we have stuck with U.S. Lawns, they probably would have remembered to do them. But with somebody new, they didn't have that institutional memory. So as they weren't being maintained, we were getting the phone calls that were saying, well, that's strange, why aren't they being maintained? And we looked, they weren't in the contract. So we went back, and now we've got it documented, and now we've, moving forward, can make sure they're included in any future bids.
Thank you.
That was my question.
Question, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Are we going to have these cut every week?
That's the amendment to the contract here is
Every week?
they're being
Okay.
added. Yeah, they should be taken care of weekly, just like everything else.
Okay, thank you.
They'll be expected to maintain that same 2.5 to 4 inch standard, I believe.
Okay.
Anything further? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Higgins,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Next item has a cover letter from James Hollingworth, Hennessy Engineers, Project Manager. And the City Council approved the resolution at the February 22 for the Eagle DWAM grant, Asset Management Plan Field Verification Construction Services. City Council approved the resolution at the February 22 meeting to accept the DWAM grant from Eagle. The grant will cover all the costs for the DWAM program, including updating the City of Lincoln Park's asset management plan for the city's water system, as well as the cost to randomly verify the city's water service material types. The grant amount is not to exceed, I moved the wrong thing over, is what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah. That's the next one.
Hold on to that thought. Cover letter from John Kazoo, our DPS Director. On June 22, 2022, the City of Lincoln Park opened the two following bids that were received for the 2022 sidewalk repair program. KD Cement LLC, remove and replace approximately 4,700 square feet of 4-inch concrete sidewalk at $11.25 per square foot for $52,875. Bless you. Remove and replace approximately 750 square feet of 6-inch concrete sidewalk at $12.50 per square foot for $9,375. Total cost of $62,250. Great Lakes Contracting Solutions LLC, remove and replace approximately 4,700 square feet of 4-inch concrete sidewalk at $13.50 per square foot for $63,450. Remove and replace approximately 750 square feet of 6-inch concrete sidewalk at $15.50 per square foot for $11,625. Total cost of $75,075. Be it resolved that the mayor and city council approve to award the bid.
To
It
KD.
is my recommendation the mayor and council approve the award to KD Bid Cement for a total amount not to exceed $62,250 to come from account number 410-001-983000, Capital Improvement Fund. Be it further resolved that the mayor and city clerk are authorized to sign all pertinent contract documents.
So move. Support.
Clerk, call the roll. Oh, discussion, I'm sorry.
Through the chair, Your Honor.
Yes, go ahead.
Briefly, Mr. Kazoo, two questions. When will they start work on this? And most sidewalks are 4 inches, right? I'm seeing 6 inches of concrete sidewalk. So where do we need 6 inches of concrete sidewalk? That's my question.
Across the driveways.
Typically, a typical sidewalk is 4 inches in thickness, but the sidewalk between the approach
and the driveway is 6-inch.
Thank you very much.
And as far as your other question, as soon as the contracts are executed, the contractor can go to work.
Thank you very much.
Further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Dupre?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. That's off.
Drinking water asset.
Yeah, that's where. Okay, we'll go back to the James Hollingsworth letter reference asset management plan. Updating the water system asset management plan and grant administration, $168,887. Physical verification of 375 water services. Inspection services, $35,608. Verify water services in the house at the meter, $35,608. Whereas the City of Lincoln Park applied for and received a drinking water asset management grant in the amount of $532,637. Whereas this program is expected to be beneficial to the City of Lincoln Park for the continued improvement of drinking water infrastructure for the period of February 15, 2022 through February 15, 2025. Whereas this project will involve work related to the City of Lincoln Park Asset Management Plan, AMP, and Distribute System Material Inventory, DSMI, including field verification for a minimum of 375 service lines and updates to the AMP based on in-depth assessments. And whereas Hennessy Engineers will also administer the contract and perform the asset management plan development, perform the field verification of the DSMI location, 1 verification, bid out and oversee DSMI location 2 and 3 verification to include the construction services for the entire duration of the project. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Lincoln Park, Wayne County, Michigan, hereby authorizing Hennessy Engineers to develop the Lincoln Park Drinking Water Asset Management Plan and provide all engineering services for the project funds in the amount of $240,103 to come from the Drinking Water Asset Management Grant.
I'll move.
Support?
I have a question, though, Your Honor.
Okay, discussion, go ahead.
The cover letter states that the grant amount is not to exceed $562,637, but the resolution says $532,637. I just don't know which one is correct.
Oh, yeah. I have to double check that one. I don't know off the top of my head. But we'll fix it to be whichever
Whichever one is right.
one is correct.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
I think the cover letter is the one with the typo in it. I think the resolution is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Through the chair. The rest of the money, the $562,000 and taking the $240,000 out, have we allocated the rest of that money?
John, have we allocated the rest of the funds yet?
The balance of those funds will be going to the contractor, of which Hennessy is going to have oversight of. Okay, so what is, are we going with the figure on the resolution?
No, it's 562. I'm doing the math on this. It's 562.
Okay, so in doing the math, you're going to change the figure on the resolution to be 562, 637?
Yes.
Is that good with the mover and supporter?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, is there further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Salcido.
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. The next item has a cover letter from our city manager, Mr. Kazan. It has to do with Hennessy Engineers' proposal for animal shelter design and bid specifications. On April 18, 2022, a study session occurred to discuss the conceptual design of new animal shelter for the city. During that meeting, the design was shown and general cost estimates were shared. As a part of the allocation of the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA funds, the city allocated funding to begin the process of designing and bidding a new animal shelter. As the conceptual design is mostly complete, the next step is to create constructional drawings and bid the project. Hennessy Engineers Incorporated has provided a proposal to complete these services. Resolved that the mayor and city council approve the proposal from Hennessy Engineers Incorporated for the design and creation of bid specifications for a new animal shelter, cost not to exceed $36,050, funds to come from previously allocated American Rescue Plan Act fund.
So moved.
Support.
Do we need the numbers on that, or is that just, or is that fine? American.
fine.
That's fine, okay. Discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Dupre,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Salcido.
Yes.
Tobin. Oh, I'm sorry, she's not here. And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Okay, next, resolved that the residents of the 1400 block of Chandler between Russell and Seacott be granted permission to have a block party on Sunday, July 24th, 2022, from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. under the following conditions. One, that the street be barricaded at each end and closed to vehicular traffic. Two, that the party be over by 9 p.m. or dusk, whichever comes first, and the street be reopened to traffic, per the recommendation of the police department.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Dupre,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Salcido.
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Resolved that the residents of the 2100 block of Paris between Dix and Frank be granted permission to have a block party on Saturday, July 30th, 2022, from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. under the following conditions. One, that the street be barricaded at each end and closed to vehicular traffic. Two, that the party be over by 9 p.m. or dusk, whichever comes first, and the street be reopened to traffic, per the recommendation of the police department.
So move.
Support.
Discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Higgins.
Yes.
Dupre.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Salcido.
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Resolved that the residents abutting O'Connor Avenue between Washington and Grant be granted permission to have a block party on Saturday, July 16, 2022, from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. under the following conditions. One, that the street be barricaded at each end and closed to vehicular traffic. Two, that the party be over by 9 p.m. or dusk, whichever comes first, and the street be reopened to traffic, per the recommendation of the police department.
I'll move.
Support.
Discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross,
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Dupre.
Yes.
Salcido.
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Moving to accounts and claims payable, over $25,000. The first two items, the Blue Care Network and the Blue Cross Blue Shield, have been check released for due date. Resolved that the accounts and claims payable for those items greater than $25,000 be approved as follows. Blue Care Network, July 2022 Retirees Med Advanced Plan, $28,633.05. Blue Cross Blue Shield, July 2022 Retiree Med Advanced Plans, Retirees Inactive, $173,926.08. Beck and Raider, Southfield Road Corridor Study and Plan, $30,832.98. Core and Main Water Meter Restock, $29,013.49. DUA, June 2022 Excess Flow Charges, $122,017. GFL Environmental, May 2022 Residential Curbside reissued. In July 2022, residential curbside in city buildings, $409,739.02. GLWA, February, March, April 2022 billing for water, less Highland Park debt, which is $612,591.39. Hennessy Engineers, General Consulting, Retention Basin, Water Loss Leak Study, North Shore Sewer Repair, Water Operations, Everstream Metro Act, City Hall HVAC, Lafayette Water Main, Concrete Reconstruction, Emmons and Lincoln Pump Station, Verizon Metro Act, SRF Sanitary Sewer Rehab, $52,424.51. Hutch Paving, 2021-2022 Asphalt Resurfacing, $297,744.14. Swim Walker Tree Removal Work, $55,551.50. Play Environmental Design, Playground Equipment, CDBG portion, $30,347. City of Riverview, May 2022 Dumping Service, $29,578.97. And United Lawnscape City Lawn Service, May 2022, $31,821.72.
I'll move.
Support. Discussion. Clerk call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Salcedo?
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. And now we are at time of our city manager's report. Mr. Krazan?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple brief items tonight, but kind of running on the theme here of building upgrades. All of our buildings are pretty old, and we're starting to make some progress, and it's really exciting. We want to keep this momentum moving forward. We are going to be bringing to you an RFP for windows here at City Hall. This is another one of those ARPA projects. That RFP is coming to you guys at the next meeting. So another thing that we're moving forward with, each building we're trying to hit. DPS now, they're in the process of fixing those front doors and being more open to the public for the first time, and it's been a long time. We've got, tonight we had the study session on the police department and the upgrades there. So we just continue to push the ball forward. Another big thing we had, today was the first day for a new guy down at the DPS. Moving forward there. We still have 3 full-time vacancies at the department, 1 part-time and 1 mechanic as well. And then we also have a couple guys out on injury. But, we're doing what we can to try and fill those vacancies for John and the guys, because, they are stretched pretty good right now. And as, here, you just kind of end it here on a pretty positive thing. And this is something I do at the first meeting of the month. Recognize milestone anniversaries, and I've got 3 of them. And I'm going to absolutely butcher this last name. But Abby Brancho at the police department, she's been with us now 1 year. And then we've got 2 25 years here. This month, Jennifer Richardson in HR will be celebrating her 25. And then Bob Wright in the fire department celebrating his 25-year anniversary. So, a couple big milestones there. Yeah, I don't do the birthdays. But so those are some of the big things, big highlights going on right now. And now I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Through the chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Is there anything new on the water loss study?
We recently had a meeting to go over it. John and I spoke a little bit about trying to move forward a little bit with some of the things we can do in the short term here before we are able to bring guys on. We're still trying to fill positions, that are already budgeted, let alone trying to grow the department. But if it is something we're going to move forward, and this will be part of the study session we discuss at the next meeting, because we have a DPS staffing study session, so I think it's a perfect tie-in, but it's something we should be looking to move forward on.
Is this the lead lead? Is that what it's called, the lead lead?
No, these are two totally
No,
different.
that's, I'm saying, I'm going to the lead lead one. Is that the same type of thing, because we just don't have the people to do it?
So the lead, I think we're preparing an RFP to get it out, because it's something we've got to be working on, whether we do it in-house, whether we have a contractor do it, that, but it is something we're working on an RFP. We put it out to bid, was it late last year? Late last year, and the bids came back astronomical. We were anticipating $5,000 per service. It came back at least double, I think even more. So,
It's still there.
it's, yep.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
James, since we're going to do the DPS study session, and you did say to let you know what we wanted,
Right.
can you give us an update on the evaluation report as far as, like what we've been able to accomplish from it?
And certainly try and put that together.
Okay.
I'll try and do what I can within the context, because I do want to keep us kind of focused.
Yeah, but I also think is that, like, you could tell us if it's a manpower issue, why we haven't been able to
Right.
accomplish this, or certain categories.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. If you want to, just take the evaluation and kind of put notes on the side.
Yeah.
Make it easy. And so I understand that you have a birthday this week?
Thanks, Ed. And it's not this week, it's later this month.
Later this month?
Yeah.
Okay, well, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Anything further for the city manager? Okay. Then we will move on to our department head report. Today we have the assessor. Bob, is it?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, first thing, I brought my staff with me because this is a team effort. And this is, again, playing to the same tune, but we're running at 33% of what is expected for our staffing, according to the International Association of Assessing Officers. So Nancy, if you'd stand up, and Katie, we can't accomplish anything without them. And it is truly a team effort. Okay, to date, we have processed 740 sales, down a bit from last year. Sales prices are beginning to flatten, with an expected average increase of 6.6%, down from 8.1%. But this is not the case in all the sales. I pulled two of our matched pairs, and all that is looking at a sale on the same property within a certain period of time. That's what we call them. The old sale price on this property, I'm not giving up the address or the names, was $74,900 5 years ago. Last month, it was $150,000. That's a 20% increase a year. The next one, the old sale price was $107,000 3 years ago. This year, $162,500. That's a 17% increase. So we're still going up. It's just that we're starting to hit the barrier, because not all of our houses are up to that scale. A lot of these are houses that we've discovered that things have happened that we didn't know about. The $162,500 house had a bath and a half with no permits, a full finished basement with a fireplace with no permits, and a big addition on the garage. So as we find these, we put them on the roll, but it is what it is. We have 13 current open tax tribunal cases. The office remodel continues apace, with the files being transferred from the old records or the floor, depending on where they were at, to the new file system, which is very cool. And it does give us room to grow. And once we get everything set up and we get a couple locks from Mr. Kazoo's folks, we'll be able to get the files out of my office so I can have an office, which will be really exciting too. We're still looking to fill our part-time position. And you're going to hear me talk a couple more times about Public Act 660, which happened in 2018, and I have copies of these for you if anybody's really interested in falling asleep really quickly. That's the Assessing Reform Act, and the state kind of dropped this on us. Most of it hits this year, with a couple of additional things in 23, 24, and then the big change comes in 25. So anyway, whenever we hire anybody that actually interacts with the public or our files, they have to be certified now. In the past, they didn't. CAMA standards, computer-aided mass appraisal, we're now fully integrated. And just so you guys can see, this is CAMA standards. See all the little tiny type? Have to hit every parcel. Over 22,000 parcels between our two communities that had to be modified. And every time you enter a sale, if you do it wrong, it comes up and goes, you're wrong. And that's one of the audit things that the state does, is that's one of the things they look for. And sadly, they can do it right now. If our computers are up online and they're interacting with BS&A, they can look. It's good for us. We haven't run into any issues because we check it at the end of every day, but it's nice to know. We're in talks with Nearmap about getting updated GIS data, essentially the air flights. Very cool stuff. The price is way, way down from what we thought it was going to be. And we'll give you a proposal on that probably next month or the month after. But with this license, every department can use it. Not just us, but police, fire, building, DPW, everybody can use this. And there's also, if we buy the packages, a couple of the packages, there's also artificial intelligence built into it. It can find building construction, because what it does is it looks at the air, and it looks for particle density in the air. Kind of scary, but relatively inexpensive, like slightly over $4,000 a year, as opposed to the 12 that we talked about 2 years ago. And our air flights currently are 2003, the last year the county did. That's what we're using in Equalizer. Now we have access to Google Earth and a couple other things, but it's not integrated. Okay, moving on. Mobile assessor software is coming. We've had this in the budget for 2 years, Lisa? We're finally going to go ahead with it. This is software that integrates with fieldwork. Use an iPad. You can change assessing data via the iPad into our computers. You integrate a phone number, and you can change the sketches as you go. Because we're so short on manpower, and this is not me harping on manpower, it's just the reality. This is something to help defray that, and it'll give our appraiser and myself tools that we can go out in the field and truly just work there. Let's see. School is coming up for the assessing staff. The first offering is valuing medical and recreational marijuana facilities. So everybody will have a great time with that. And finally, we're working on coming into compliance with the assessing PA 660. Whole lot of changes for us and the office, and Katie and upstairs here are working on integrating some of our data that has to be posted every year. Now, this is one half of one neighborhood. That's the ECFs. Now, there's 3 pages of these, and then one more page of land values. They don't have to go online. They have to be accessible to the public. So they have to be able to see them. We already put up the rest of a lot of the background stuff. We had to promise that we will get back to people within 7 days. We had to put in posting. If you want to get in touch with us, you can call us at this number, you can email us at this address. A lot of the public stuff that probably should have been around forever, but nobody actually ever thought about it. And this is all pretty much mandates that we don't get any money to do. So as you can tell, we're losing our hair trying to get this done. And with that, we're pretty much done. Questions?
Through the chair, Your Honor.
Yes, go ahead.
Bob, you said we don't have a GIS system in assessing? Or we do?
We do. It's just old.
So it's not...
Ritter GIS integrates our splits and combines, stuff like that. But our air flights are 2003. That's the expensive part of GIS, is to either use satellite imagery, which is okay, or much better is lower altitude aerial photography, because you can get straight up and you can get oblique. Now, for us, the oblique is gold because we can measure building heights. We can look at the building all the way around and not have a shadow because of the way the cameras shoot. We were looking at one today with James, one of the buildings on Fort, that we couldn't get out of the shadow to figure out what something was. Yes, you can. We managed to leverage a little bit better price because we got, let's see if I can remember everybody that joined in. Help.
Woodhaven, Trenton, and
Dillon Heights.
and potentially Rockwood.
So that's a lot of parcels for these guys, and that's how they make their money, is on the overall cost. And they fly the air flights anyway, but now they can start to recoup. And they only work in the high density areas to make it worth their while. My house, they laughed about it because they said, well, there's only 5,000 houses in the county where you live, so no.
Okay. But that is, you said that's going to be a yearly fee.
And a really inexpensive one. Pictometry, when we asked, was $11,000, one air flight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything further? Oh, seeing none?
Thank you.
Bob, thank you to your staff for the work that you're doing. Now I'll open it up for citizen communications.
Hi, Les Lawrence Wilson. I wasn't planning on coming up here today. Gave Tracy the assignment to talk about farmers market, but the topic of City Hall windows caught my ears as I'm making dinner. City Hall windows, I've been expecting this topic to come up, and City Hall windows in a building are very important. And this building is a historic building. It's a WPA building, Works Progress Administration building, built with funds from the WPA. This building is a little bit more historic than the Historical Museum, that is also a historic building. So my request to you, James, for your RFP, it should be to hire the services of a historic architect who can write the bid specs to make sure that the appropriate windows for this particular building are specified and purchased and installed. And I can email you the name of somebody tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, anything further? We're not seeing anything. We'll move on to oral reports of the Mayor and Council, Council President Salcido.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody, residents of Lincoln Park. I left my notes at home, so I'll wing it, but I want to congratulate Whole Shot. They won the Battle of the Bands at the band show last week. I know one of the neighbors is a member of that band, so I won't say his name, but congratulations, neighbor. I don't know the names of other bands. I know Shakedown was the other one, but I'm sure Mr. Councilman Higgins can add that in his report. But all the bands are great. Also, congratulations, Mr. Blinsky, Don Blinsky, on your retirement. Hopefully, he'll still film our shows here, but we'll see how that goes.
Plan.
Also, finally, the Santana Project, the mayor mentioned that in his remarks, very real good band, and I want to thank Jimmy Cagle, I believe that's his name. Cargill. We had a blast collecting money, and it was really fun, so I thank Jimmy for your help. And that's all you have.
Thanks, sir. Councilman Higgins.
Thank you. I was just going to say the concert in the park Thursday, come on out. We have been having a blast all summer. The concerts are bigger, better than they've ever been. And I also wanted to thank Jimmy Cargill again because he helps me when I collect the money, and he helped Carlos, and he steps forward, and big thank you to Jim. I wanted to remind everybody about the farmers market, which was already touched on a little bit. Every Sunday over at Millis Park. It has grown substantially this year. It is wonderful in its new home, and I recommend everybody get out there. Something I have not mentioned in a while, but the recycling bins behind the library, those recycling bins are there for all the community to help not only get rid of the paper that you want to get rid of or other products that go into the recycling bin, but that helps pay for the library and buys extra books and extra things for the library, so it's a win-win situation. So I recommend everybody to please think about that. And lastly, but not leastly, in any way, Don, congratulations, well-deserved.
Sure. Yes, Councilwoman Ross.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have something new and exciting from the Historical Museum. You guys know that they have the 70-year Little League exhibit running through September 17th. However, they have scheduled on Saturday, August the 20th, a Little League alumni ball game at 11 a.m. So they are asking for Little League alumni to participate, and they ask for you to show up by 10:30. So nothing in advance, just show up that day at 10:30. And
Where?
at Quant Park. Thank you. And maybe you don't want to play. Maybe you want to come and watch. That's very acceptable as well. And then there is an all-alumni gathering at 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on the grounds of the Historical Museum, also on the 20th. Something that I forgot to mention last time was that the Historical Museum newsletter is out. And you can access that on their website at www.lphistorical.org. And if you don't get a newsletter, you can sign up on their website to receive one through the email. And again, just a reminder about the garden tour on August the 6th. It's scheduled for 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's my understanding that there'll be maps available for donation at the museum, and then you're on your own, because they'll give you the addresses. So that is sponsored by the Community Improvement Commission, and the donations are to benefit the Historical Museum. And July 9th, which is this Saturday, right? July 9th, from 8 to 1, the Wayne County Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day, from 8 to 1, the Wayne County Household Hazardous Waste Collection is scheduled at the Henry Ford College in Dearborn. That's on Evergreen. And I know that you can access this on our website, the flyer, so that you know what they accept and what they don't. And you can also find it on Wayne County's website as well. And one thing I wanted to bring up, too, was that I know that I have scheduled pickups from Simple Recycling. Well, come to find out, they said that we don't have an agreement, a current agreement with them, that it expired, so we need a new agreement in order to get cash back from the pickups. So I know that I forwarded you that agreement, James, but I didn't know how we would go about doing it.
I think we'll have it as an agenda item for the next
Okay.
council meeting.
Okay. Thank you. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilwoman Dupre?
This Saturday is the park cleanup at Willow Park on Monte, and we'll be there from 9 to 1. Everyone is welcome. And Sundays are the farmers market at Mellis Park from 11 to 3, and it's a good time just to go down there and look around, and they have some really nice vendors this year, so it's something that everybody should check out. And with that, I will say good night and God bless.
Thank you, ma'am. For the choosing sides for the Little League game, if you come out, they're going to pick 2 captains and then catch the bat, and then whoever's, closest to the knob will get to pick their team. So I'm sure that's how they're going to set it up. So it should be fun to go about. There's 2 things that happened in the state senate of importance to us. I believe would be possibility of a great thing, and one has to do with the funding of underweighted pension systems, and both of our mirrors and our police and fire pension systems are, I think the police and fire is 38, 39, and MERS is still, I think, under 25, okay. But to bring both of those up to 60% would be a great thing for us, and it would free up a lot of our budgets, and because we had, for police and fire, we're looking at a 30-year plan to get us at 100%. And to get to 60 would be another 10 years down the road. So that was passed by the Senate, and it's approved by the House, to my understanding, so that would go to the governor for approval, and it's her budget, so we're keeping our fingers crossed for that. Next item that we had passed the Senate on a unanimous vote, and it has to do with the Sergeant Craig Frank Memorial Highway designation for all of Fort Street. So that is just awaiting the governor's signature, and then we'll arrange with Mr. and Mrs. Tim Frank to have a dedication ceremony. I don't know how that all works. I know that the $3,500 cost of the sign has been donated by Aaron Bartell, who you will know from, I think it's not Running Matters, but it's his project where he goes along, and I think his run is coming up next week, where he raises funds in honor of soldiers that have died in combat and in their memory. And what his current plan is to arrange funding for is to have cover the electrical costs at the Wyandotte VFW, and by installing solar panels. I think he's right at that point, but he's not using these funds for that. This is a personal donation on his account to have it. Because he said if this all gets approved, we don't want to wait for a fundraising to take place. It should go in almost immediately, and so that's what we're hoping for. That was good news right before July 4th, because we will not have our freedom for 246 years without having people out there giving their lives to defend it for us. So. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Support.
Clerk, call the roll.
Councilperson Salcido?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes?
Yes.